Welcome everyone, this is Everyone Loves Pirates, and I'm here with
Me!
Red Talon. There he is.
It's a good way of letting someone know when they're supposed to talk.
Yeah.
Just silence.
And this is our ship. I think you remember this little loading bay area. But if I kind of zoom out a little bit, you'll see, yeah, we kind of worked
Yeah.
on it a little bit without you
Sorry,
guys.
that was my bad. When you guys weren't looking, I kind of just did it all by myself.
One crazy night fueled with Red Bull and, I don't know, Cheetos or something.
Testosterone.
He
But,
just mined everything and made this awesome ship.
so, basically, here's what happened. This was right when Pistons came out. We decided to try out some stuff because we didn't know how Pistons works yet, so we decided to test it and plan something art with our ship. And then eventually, we just decided planning out entire rooms, and then we just said, screw it, let's just do the entire ship. And we like how it looks, and for a while we were going to go, oh, let's just make it in survival after we got it planned, but we have so many specific things
Yeah.
that we kind of just agreed that making this again would never be possible. And
It's
we
really
also
my fault because I made the cockpit and I thought it was super awesome, even though Red Talon didn't care for it all that much. I was like, we're keeping it, and I'm not making it again.
Well, now I kind of like it, but that's because we
All
modified
that
it.
glass.
Yeah. So, mostly because of that, and partly because, honestly, this would have taken us like 10 hours to do in survival, and
Oh, at least.
we would have nothing to offer.
It would have been pretty boring. And what we want to do is we want to move on to that cool asteroid we showed you before. So basically, this is going to be the end, the epilogue of season 1. So we built the ship, and we're going to go work on bases. We're going to drive the ship to the base site.
All right, let's really quickly do a run through the ship. So here's the part you all recognize. Minor differences. There are now gravity generators in the ceiling. There wasn't really anywhere on the ship that was appropriate, so we just put them there. And they actually fit pretty well, especially with glass over them. Here is the storage bay. Just 2 large cargo containers, which is kind of more than enough space than you'll really need. And it's connected with these conveyors. Here's the lift room. Before we show that off, let's actually just show off where the conveyors lead. Conveyors lead to the refinery room, which is 2 stories. There's 4 refineries, and if we turn on our jetpacks, we can go up top and see that there are some assemblers up here too. Now, I've always said you should never really have more than 2 refineries or assemblers, but just for the sake of decoration, we added more. We could grind them down if we really didn't want to use them. But they're mostly there just for decoration for right now, so let's go back to the first floor.
And I want to apologize for the sound. If you're hearing weird clicks and stuff, it's Space Engineer's audio just kind of going weird on us.
It's on both of our ends because I'm having it too. So here is the lift room, and if you look around, you can see
We're very proud of this.
Yeah, this was like the whole reason we just did this. So
Like we should put one of these on our ship. We were messing around with lifts and
yeah.
So send us up.
Yep. You're probably going to see us glitch around a bit. It's because pistons are still kind of broken. In fact, one of the downsides of this elevator is we won't be able to use it on the actual ship. It works in stations, but when it's in a ship, even if you don't even like move, it'll just like break. It's unfortunate. So in the actual game, we're going to have to delete the actual piston, so this is just going to be a hole in our ship. So it still looks nice. In fact, I'm going to, because this is a copy of our ship, I'm just going to delete it really quickly. But just for the, being able to show you guys, that's why we just want to leave it in first. Also, let's go back.
Just leave the shaft there.
Yeah. And then we drop down here, and this is a maintenance shaft. We had basically a whole other room that was left over from like a hollow part of the ship's hull. So we decided to make it into a maintenance hatch, which is just full of gyroscopes and also a beacon. And it worked out pretty well. It actually looked pretty cool when it was under the elevator, but now just kind of exposed, but still looks neat. I quite like the way this looks.
Top floor?
Yep. And now we actually go to the crew quarters, which is where we spend most of our time. So first
Where
room...
I will not spend any time at all.
Yeah.
Because there's no furniture.
First room is the engine room. We didn't use large engines, partly because they were too tall, and partly because I think we had a lot more fun with just how this looks visually. There are 16 of these, which is still less power than one large reactor, but it still looks really nice. When we move on, when we were building this, Pirate said he wouldn't feel safe having a room next to this because radiation would give you cancer. So I actually built a wall in between the reactor and the crew quarters. So
Thank you.
in this wall, there's actually some. They're the new wall type. I forgot what they're called, but they're like blast doors. So this entire wall is made out of blast doors, except for these two parts right here, which are batteries. Because we needed to put them somewhere, and buy the engine room was a good idea.
Yeah, that's where all the power is.
Yep. And
Just
here
to
we
be
have.
safe.
Here we have the actual, crew quarters. Oh, sorry. So we have 4 rooms. They're all symmetrical. It's basically just a bed
Pretty.
and a view. There's no furniture in the game yet, so yeah. This would essentially be where each crew member would put all their stuff. It's 2 stories, so you could essentially, like, have stuff up top, too. But not really much in the way of decoration just yet. Here is the lounge.
The rumpus room.
Yeah, initially these windows weren't here, but because we wanted to have this more of a casual, decorated area, we have these big windows. But this is where pretty much all of the stuff would be. This is where like a living room, kitchen, tennis court,
Didn't we
dodgeball.
have windows up there too, or was that in a different room?
Oh yeah, we had windows like kind of pointed that way, but when we were flattening the top, we kind of accidentally deleted them. But I decided that I felt it looked a bit better without them anyway. But we could change it if we wanted to. Here are the actual airlocks if you didn't want to go in from the hangar, and there's one on each side. Nothing too special, just the standard fare. And then right before the cockpit is the if you head back in.
Yep.
Right before the cockpit is the medical room. There's enough room for 4 medical bays, but now you only need 1 because you can spawn in anyone in your factions. But we put in 2 just to make it more balanced. And yeah, this is a pretty basic room, not really much to speak of. And then, how about you explain the one part that you did the whole time I was doing everything
The only
else?
thing I did. It's kind of close, yeah. So this is the lovely, lovely cockpit. So, yeah. Lots of glass. It looks pretty. Kind of Escher-ish.
Yeah, it
MC,
does actually.
my buddy.
The master of
bros.
ceremonies.
And it goes down to the bottom area as well. So, yeah.
There's no airlock, but we decided, screw it, we don't need one.
That wasn't always blue. But
Yeah. But
I was griefing Red Talon, and he apparently left it this time.
yeah, screw it. You made the cockpit, you can have that.
I didn't really want it, but yeah. So,
But yeah, I didn't initially like this at first, but as we crafted it and molded it so that it actually blends with the ship, I actually like it quite a bit more. Before it was just enormous and it was like on top of the ship and it looked ridiculous. It was like the ship had a hat.
so yeah, this is our ship, and this is what we'll be taking to the place where we're going to build a station in an asteroid.
Before we actually move on to the next thing, let's just turn this into a ship if you want to give it a little test drive.
Wow. There we go. So you can see we got our pods of thrusters in the back.
Yep. Actually, yeah, did we show off the exterior?
I did. I went all around it.
Okay, I didn't see it. But yeah, it actually
There's the back.
pretty proud of it.
Yeah.
Oh. We also have 4 turrets underneath, Gatling turrets, because this is going to be shooting down asteroids, or not asteroids, meteors, because we are going to enable those when we get back into the game. So this will be, for a while, our sole source of defense. Also be careful not to go to the left and crash into what we're going to show off next.
That's where I was taking us.
Okay.
So this kind of leads into what we started messing around with before we did this ship, and what we ended up, what we're going to want to do when we get to the asteroid. since it will be a station and it will work without exploding on itself.
Alright, so this we're not going to take with us. We're actually going to do something like this on when we actually do the next part. So, this is going to be, basically, before we open it up, this is going to be like the top part of the asteroid. So, you know, you'd be able to walk on top of it. Pretty nice, no problem. And then we would also...
Since it will be in the sun, we'll have some defenses up here as well.
Yeah, that's why the top is made out of bulletproof, in case it gets hit pretty hard.
Because we will have our meteors on.
Yeah. And
apocalyptic meteors, right?
Hell no.
No. Oh.
Just probably regular, or if we felt spicy, we could include harder ones. So here is our actual lift for our station that we're going to build. And the cool thing about this is that it also serves as an airlock because it is the perfect height to close itself off whenever it's open.
Yeah.
So if you want to set it back down.
Yeah, I got that issue where I can't access it from inside the elevator again.
Okay, yeah, that's a weird thing we've had a problem with when we were building this.
Yeah. So he can, for some reason I can't. But we'll figure that out. I used to be able to.
And this leads down to a just a chamber for the elevator. I'm pretty proud of how it looks. And before we show off the next thing,
send it back up?
Yeah, so we can show off what you did.
Besides the entire elevator and everything else.
Yeah.
Oh, goody. And it's a little glitched on my end.
Oh.
So we have the maglev elevator here. I have no center piston for the deal. It's just going up and down by itself.
Yeah, that's odd. Yeah, pistons are still incredibly glitchy. Even in, like, when you're playing by yourself, it's still weird.
So you got red lights to warn you so you don't run into here if it's up.
Yeah. It's another little maintenance shaft. I put doors in here, so if this was part of a station, somebody would be able to come down here and actually fix stuff, and it would work pretty well.
Yeah. The space janitor. You can go down there.
Yeah, that's my one job. And then finally, if we look at the last thing, we actually figured out how to do blast doors, and they actually look really sweet.
Yep. They're juddering a lot on my end, but...
Yeah. On my end, they're smooth, so it's just a connection thing.
We've been playing for a while.
Yeah.
And then this would head into the interior of the asteroid.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool, because now we can make doors that aren't, like, one by one or just big open holes. This is actually pretty cool. So we'd be able to essentially, like, you know, in terms of immersion, you could just bring stuff in here like cargo or vehicles and not have to worry about them having to fit through the door.
Yeah, I think this will be really cool, and I'm really excited for our next season, if you will. And hopefully you guys aren't too mad that we didn't stick with the ship thing, but it was going to take a while. We were having a hard time finding a whole lot of time to play anyways. And we kind of just wanted to, you know, move on to the next thing, which I think is going to be a little more fun.
It literally would have been like 20 to 30 parts, and then it would have been just more the same the entire time, except we would just have to try to think of things to talk about in between.
Yeah.
So I think it'd probably be better off this way, just so we actually have a base of operations to work off of. We are still going to have to get fuel and parts and stuff because, you know, we aren't going to really be able to take any of that with us. We're going to have to use whatever we had on the save we already had.
Yeah, it will be full survival. So, we won't, yeah.
So this thing's only going to have like a few minutes of fuel, so we're going to have to make sure to give it more.
Wow. It's probably not doing that on your end, huh?
Nah, it's flat for me.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, we've brought Space Engineers to its knees. But tomorrow will be another update. So maybe, hopefully, there'll be a netcode update and maybe some new cool things we can add. But, yeah. There she is. There's the ship. And we thank you all for watching. And apologize again for the delay. But we're going to start up something I think is going to be really cool. And I look forward to you guys joining us for that.
Also, really quickly, we should show off the name.
Oh, yeah. I need to turn my HUD on, don't I?
Go ahead.
Here we go. The Ruffithi Phantom. Ta-da!
Yeah. Hopefully, people watching are familiar with what that is.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you know who Ruffithi is, then you know that it's not to be messed with.
Hint, he's a bastard.
Yeah. And he'll probably end up killing Talon.
I think I already did a couple of times.
So, thanks for watching, folks. Do you have any last words?
No.
Okay, great. Well, we will see you in the season 2 of our multiplayer Space Engineers. Thanks for watching.
See ya.
Bye.